I look at the roads I build, and I'm like, why did I think that looks like a good idea? Because it doesn't. Who approved that? Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Lethe, looking at our beautiful airport. And you might notice that this does not look like the airport we had in the last episode. You can even see the remnants of the old highway where there's a lack of trees right here along this line. So as I mentioned in the last part, when I finished the episode, I just did not like the way our highway interchanges looked. I also did not like that the train line was basically elevated the entire time, and a few of you commented that too, but I agree. So what I did was I went through, I did not change the location of the plane station, the airport. The airport stays exactly the same. However, I went through and I made the train tracks stay level on the ground until it crosses here over this river. Then when it comes over to this little side here, I did do a little reworking here where it now goes straight on down through. Instead of it being elevated anywhere here, it is flat all the way along, comes underneath this bridge, and then reconnects up in a bit more of a realistic way. These slopes are much smoother all around. I also went ahead and did a little bit of editing to this central track here, and just tried to make this look a little bit nicer all around. But this way now, when we get to a one-lane track, we have space in between here for another train to sit and wait to get in. So it helps keep this moving when there's 2 or 3 trains trying to get somewhere at the same time. The next thing I did was we had this interchange here. This has been here for ages. I actually can't recall if I made this or if this was pre-built. I have no idea, but it's been here for a while. And I realized that we had this interchange sending highway lanes out that were then crossing over going this direction. And then you can see where the scar is. And going behind the airport, only for me to then build a road that went in front of the airport and reconnect it. And I felt like that was just completely unnecessary. So I deleted this entire section of highway and instead redirected it in front of the airport, which I think will be better serving when we fill all this out with suburbs. Now here, we have a new interchange. This is the pre-built interchange, but I added on this extra exit here that goes directly from the highway, either direction here, into the airport itself. And then I added a little bit of business in here just because I was having a nice time hanging out. Added in some parking lots, a central parking garage, and then the transformer station is over here. And then the last thing I did was I added in the grand bridge. I don't know where else we're going to use this, and I just thought this would be nice to have the bridge, and far away you see the city and the skylines. I thought that was pretty cool. And so I reworked the connection here. So instead of this area here being a highway, this is now just an avenue, which for the traffic we're seeing right now, and by that I mean this one city service vehicle, I think it's a much better use of the space. All right, other than that, I don't think there was any major changes I made offline. I will say I do want to apologize in advance for my voice. This time, my voice and my nose are not because I'm ill. It's because yesterday I got a flu shot, and I'm feeling it like right in my nose. I'm like, oh my God. It feels like I'm a little sick, even though I'm not. I know it's the shot, but whatever. All right, so today, what I want to focus on is actually, you know what? I turned off the clouds. So let me first do that. Let's put those back on. There we go. We've got some shadows now. Yes. Okay. So what I want to do today, and I've talked about this a little bit, but I would like to do a bit more zoning, and I would like to rework what we have going on here for Capital City. I named this area Capital City as a whole, but then we also named this district here Capital City with the ferry depot in it. And I'm realizing it would be so much better for Capital City to actually have our city hall and to actually have the bank. And I would like to just try to make a little kind of government district over here, which means a lot of this is going to have to disappear because I think both of these buildings are relatively large. Let's see. Yeah, these are relatively large. But in addition to that, it means that we're now going to open up this area. And I think I might get rid of this park, take this park with the Capitol. And we have 2 more blocks that we can fill in, just giving a bit more of a skyline to this area. So let's go ahead. And I think let's start off by just seeing, like, what's the size of this? If I zoom in here, 13, 14, 15, roughly 16 grid spaces. which is definitely not how big this is. This one's pretty clean up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're a little bit shy there. What I'm thinking is let's check out what kind of public transit is over here for the buses. Although it did not pop up. There we go. We have a ring road going around, and then we have a line going right through the middle here. I think what I would like to do is I would like to basically clear all this out and actually go ahead and remove some of the stops, I think for now, briefly, for this bus lane or bus network. How do I do that? Okay, I right-clicked on that one, right-click on that one, right-click there, right-click there. So there's nowhere else you're going to stop here. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and just do some clearing out of this area, and we're going to kind of rework what we've got. So I think the best place to start here, I'm just going to remove all the zoning. I'm sorry to the 2,500 residents who live here. I'm pulling a bit of a mulligan. I know. It's not ideal. However, I need all this land. Or all this space. Like, you guys just all have to go. Because there's some other things I want to build over here. Now, I will say, I would love to have that mod that we had in City Skylines 1, where if you delete, do eminent domain, you have to pay out, like, a large sum to each person. So, like, if you're deleting a house and it would normally, cost you $10 to delete a house, if a family lived there, it would actually cost you, like, $2,000. Or something. And so it makes it much harder to kind of redo elements of your city as you go. All right, so let's go ahead and just delete this whole road, delete this whole road, delete this road. I like this one coming down the middle here, and we're going to delete this road. This neighborhood was spared. How do we want to do this? So what I'm thinking is I probably should start by moving City Hall over here. Get a sense of what it looks like. And then we go from there. Yeah. I think we move City Hall to here. Are you guys mad about that? No, you're fine. All right, so we have City Hall here. I think right in front of City Hall, we move this park. Because isn't this the same size? If I turn off snap to road and we just rotate it, I think it can go right here. Oh my gosh, can I like set the... let's just see. Hold on. Settings. Audio. Can I just auto turn... Oh my God. Enable radio. No. Just keep it unenabled. We don't need the radio. If I ever am playing alone, I'll just turn it on myself versus turning it off. All right. So we've now got City Hall facing this way, which I kind of like, that they look out and they can see kind of their constituents, the main powerhouse of the city. And then you look over here and you have this area too. Beautiful. Let's now do a little bit of switching things up. I want to change this central road to a pedestrian road. And I also don't want to have any bus stops on it. Are these all people who lost their homes? Oh, yeah, it's all these people who are now homeless that don't know what to do. Guys, don't worry. I'm going to be zoning some housing here shortly, and you're going to be able to move right back in once I get that figured out. Don't know when that will be. All right, so I want to prioritize surrounding City Hall. So let's do that first. Keep it at the 90. For some reason, that did not build. But now let's rotate this snap to roads. We're going to move it down for a second. Get this built in. That's at the 90. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. For some reason, it won't go right there. Okay, that's okay. Here, delete that. put this facing this way. Now it's nice and center, which we want. And then this can come straight on down. Now, the question is, do these curve into those? I don't know yet. Because the other building I also want to build in here is the bank, which I think is here. Welfare office, central bank. Houses stocks and resource traders, as well as financial advisors and loan officers. The services working together lowers loan interest and reduces the price of imported resources. Okay. Oh, whoa. Okay, I did not know the bank was so large. All right. Okay, hold on. I think I want to readjust some of this then. I don't know why I'm attached to this particular park, but I am. So we're just going to stick it somewhere for now. I think we're also going to move City Hall. I know this all costs money and it's not going to be cheap, but I actually don't think I mind too much. All right, let's place this guy right here in the center. I've not built this yet. Oh, that's beautiful. That's a great building. And it has a really nice lawn already around it. Okay. With that lawn in place, what would be our feeling to putting a road around this? Or better yet, let's not put a road. I think let's go ahead. We're already on a pedestrian path, walkway. Goodness gracious. So let's go ahead and do some pedestrian paths all the way around. Yeah, I like that. Connect that into here. Connect this into here. In fact, we're going to make these a bit more useful. These four corners will be kind of serving like little parks. Although I don't like how that connects it up. So hold on, let's redo that. Let's turn off grid, and also let's turn off snap to zoning cell lengths. Okay, or snap to sides of buildings. No, these aren't buildings. This is pre-existing geometry. No, it's not. Man, what is this? 90-degree snap to guidelines. There we go. Okay, so we have that. Great. This one, we're going to put this out straight. We're going to do the exact same thing where this is going to come out to the corner. So those are going to be kind of like little parks. I do think around this is going to be housing. I don't see why we wouldn't do housing around this. So let's do, you know what? Let's do European style row homes all the way back along the whole back section here. I would love to even see if I could get this little gap to go away, but I probably will be unsuccessful in that. But let's do it. Do we want houses here? I think we do. I don't need to see the back of this. And this is just a bank. It's not like it's a like secret government facility. So having businesses and homes around it, I don't think is a big deal. So to help solve some of this homelessness issue, fill this whole thing with some some row home housing. Does this just go directly across from here? I don't think so. I think this needs to have its own kind of promenade, which I think could be off-centered from that promenade. So what we do, we use another pedestrian road. And I like this one because it leads up here to the train station. So I think we come right off of here and we go out at a 90. Straight from there. Then we move the city hall. Do I like that? See, it's starting to feel like a lot of big buildings without much like rhyme or reason to them being placed over here. What if, I know we've got a lot of junctions and things happening over here. Yeah, I just think we gotta redo some of this. Sorry, guys. There's a better way to do this city. So we're gonna do it. Okay. City Hall is gonna go here. Dezone this as well. Get rid of these homes. Get rid of all of these homes. So now we have City Hall along this side road here, which this road does not appear to be perfectly straight. That helicopter is so loud. So I'm actually going to do one other crazy thing here, which is pause the game, delete that road, and then rebuild this road at the 90. We want exactly 90 degrees. Put it here, bring it down at the 90. Oh my gosh. Just totally upending a whole neighborhood. Although, I can't act like I had not planned to do that. All right, there we go. That's much better. I then think that, let's go ahead and scooch this just out of the way again. I know this is all costing us millions of dollars, but sometimes that's what you have to do. What would happen if we went just straight on out from here like this with a pedestrian pathway? Autosave. Do we have enough room to move this to here? We do. Hold on. We do. Which I like that a lot more. Okay. So now that that's there, let's go ahead and reconnect some of these roads. We can actually go ahead and unpause. Refill all this in with zoning, which actually, it looks like it fixed the weird zoning we have, which is great. And now we're going to redo this little diagonal piece here for this little park. I can't wait to build those. These will all stay medium density housing. I like that idea a lot. And better yet, let's remove this one and place that one in. Although, actually, they're not touching that road, so they can all be there. Perfect. Okay, so we've got these two things here. They're all going to fill in. Now we have a space where I do want to place this park, which has just been a ride or die for this whole process. But I want this right in front of the city hall. Can we connect paths to it? We can. Great. So this path is going to come down. This path can go over, and yes, you can have a crosswalk. And this path is just going to connect right up in and give a crosswalk there. Yeah. So then this will all be a park. I actually think we could even go further with this and make this into some type of park as well. Let's just see what types of parks we've got that we have not used yet. I don't want a campfire site. Small plaza, no. Ring park, no. Friendly park. Tiny city park. I mean, this is one of those things that I think would look cute, just like in between some of these houses, but maybe not for there. Large parks. This is this park, which is the multi-purpose park. What about a large plaza? I almost would rather a large plaza. I know this has been like with us this whole time, but get rid of that guy. And instead, let's large plaza directly across the street from City Hall. Yeah. Now, the one downside to City Hall is that it has a parking lot. So I almost wonder if it makes sense for this to be along the main road, at least facing this way because of the parking lot. These also have parking lots. Ugh. Okay, so I think that this also has to be upgraded then, because I want you to be able to get to those parking lots. But it does leave this now as a pedestrian road, which I think I like that. Could this school building move next door? Even better. Let's do another shuffle. I know this is so expensive to shuffle these things, but now these are aligned here in the back. Okay. With that, let's get in here and let's see if we could delete all of these bushes. I'll do it by hand. Forget it. Put a walkway all the way around. And for now, that does not need to connect in. Here. Yep. I can't connect into this park, which isn't ideal. But we do have this area here where we could take this, send it up some, then switch to continuous, right? And do like a little snap to side of the building moment. Bam. Okay. Okay. And so then let's get another connection here, which I think could just be from this intersection or this corner piece straight on in like that. Nothing crazy. These helicopters, I gotta get out of the way. They're so loud. Okay, so now we kind of have this L-shape looking park moment. I do love these houses. I think they look very nice. So let's keep that aesthetic going. How are you guys looking? Very nice as well. Another helicopter. They're just crazy. I think I would want to keep all of this empty and maybe turn all of this somehow into a park, which might just require me doing some detailing, which I might just do in a time lapse. Now over here, I imagine this is where that park starts, right? So this is the park and this is a major government building. I think along this side would be park as well, but this here absolutely can be zoned. So we do have some demand for commercial, which I'm going to put a nice little row of commercial there with a second one next to it. Just so happen they're both relatively equal in size. Let's also get in a nice office over here. No, I don't want that. But we could do some mixed use housing over here. And along this small area of Briar Rose Street, I want to imagine that we have a few buildings. Oh, I'm using the wrong kind. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. You have to be this. There we go. I want to imagine there was a few houses that were here that never left, and the city came through and did all this massive redevelopment, and the people were like, that's fine as long as these houses do not get messed up. Like, these houses have to stay. And the city was like, okay, they'll stay, but their whole neighborhood's about to change. Okay, we've done that. Now, I'd love to bring these down 90. I think just we started a bit of a grid here, and it would be really nice to just have a little bit more of a grid in this area. Just like so. Gives me those 6 blocks back. And I think for all of these, I think I want to get a little bit more fancy here. Let's, along this main road, do half a block of mixed use, and then the other half a block medium density. We have some demand for high density, which I'm actually just going to sneak over here. Yeah, there's still some pollution here, so this is not really ideal for high density, but we can sneak some back there, and we could even sneak some over here as well, with I think another office building right there in that corner. I like that. Okay, then over here, I wouldn't mind giving this a little bit of larger business, but let's keep it close to the road. So right here, we've got zoning touching both sides of the road. So if I were to go like this and keep it somewhat close into the center here, can we do that? And will that become something? I thought I'd be able to zone on this, but I'm not able to. Just leave that. Well, let that be. Let's see what she does. Oh, I'm paused, which would explain why nothing's building. Let's also do a little bit of business. Maybe right here. We'll do a 3-fer. Okay. Let's then get some mixed use along the road here, the main road. We'll do a big mixed use here because we just have a huge section. We'll do some additional medium density along here and along here with some row homes kind of filling in the rest of this where they can. Row homes along here. And then I think all of this is row homes as well. Every last little bit. Maybe in certain spots, we'll replace them with an office or two. I'm fine with that. These are all filling in. Is there a 2-for office that fills that block? Is that real? Wow. Okay, I guess it is. All right, so that's going to start filling in, which is great. We do need to think about some low density, but we've now just built this airport out here. So there's a huge area for us to begin and expand our low density housing. Now, I am curious. We have a nice, decent area here that has gone unzoned. So what I'm going to quickly do is just pop in a little neighborhood here for us to build on. It's not much, not a ton, but people want a place to live, and I have homes for sale. All of this, you're going to be close to the highway, and that is not ideal, but if you want the house, you can have it. Do I want to put just a quick little... I don't know why that's the chosen sound for this. I think I do. I'm going to put a little bit of commercial there. We're going to put a little bit of office here, capped by, again, a touch of commercial. And then along the back here, these will also be single-family homes. Film Actors Mansion, a place where a star of the silver screen withdraws to get a break from a busy world outside. We'll have to remember we can build that, because I think that could be built really nice in these like far-flung suburbs. We have this all as a retaining wall. So I almost think that we could take this and send it up to that retaining wall. Yeah, that's fine. Here's how we're going to do this. Fill this all in. Raise this all up. Just like so. And then from there, let's do a little smoothing in reverse. Yes. Here does need a little bit of extra support. Okay, and then if we go to roads, if we go to road services, if we go to retaining wall, we could retaining wall that section. Absolutely we can. Oh, I love that. This is all starting to fill in really nice. Oh, I'm liking the scale here. This is exactly what I'm wanting. Okay, this looks great. And then we break into these single family homes. These are still filling in a little bit, but we've got ones facing towards the bank and then around the back side of the bank. And then eventually this will all be a park. This is even a little beautiful block. Let's fill in this one next because we are getting that demand. So I think what we do I think we also need another road maybe here to fill this in. Or do we leave that green space? You know what? Chill. Let's leave it green space. We can always come back and change it later. Along the back here, I think we just go ahead and slap in some medium density. Excuse me. Good Lord. Some row housing. I'm one day going to remember exactly what everything here is. Obviously, today's not that day. A skinny little office here as well. As long as I could then put a nice commercial building next door. And then let's do, how did this high density come in? Looking pretty cute, actually. All right, let's do some high density right here. Or wait, is this where the helicopters are? Yeah, helicopters are there. So the high density, I need to limit because I don't want it to be too much. And I think this one's not ready for me to zone it yet. It's not. Well, in the meantime, I'm still going to give you a road. We're just going to go straight across. It's allegedly overlapping something, and I am so uninterested in whatever is being overlapped that we're just going to place you with anarchy. And then all of this is going to get high density. Over here as well. Over here as well. All of this is high density. Why this line here is grayed out, I have no idea. That will figure itself out, though. Then we've got this little stretch where we do have some demand for medium density and commercial. So I think that could be satisfied with something like this. I think I saw some traffic here. I did. This lane is a turn-only lane. I think if we were to upgrade this end portion, I can't go more than 2 and 2. But if we upgrade this end bit to an asymmetrical 4 and 3. So right when you come off that highway, you then have the option 4 and 3, which then became 4 somehow. Oh, you know what? Hold on. This needs to change the other direction. There we go. Right, so you're coming down the highway, you end up having a backup. Wow. Some of this is also people moving in, so we got to remember that. But now you have 4 options. One of them is a dedicated turn. This one here is not. Okay, so really this screws us over because everyone is then forced to make that dedicated turn. Whereas if I were just to make this a regular intersection, 3 of these lanes would turn, which is, I think, much more valuable to me. I don't love having the light here, but I recognize like these people, we need a light for anybody using Lafayette Street, which is no one right now. Unless if we made Lafayette a one-way going in, that wouldn't work. And if we had it coming out, that still wouldn't. Okay, we have to have a light. It's a T-bone intersection. Gotta happen. But I think by having multiple turn lanes, this is going to start clearing this up so much more. So right now we're here. We're right before the merge point. But just look at the number of people who can get in line and then get themselves. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right. How are things looking? You're still building. How are you guys doing? You're still building too. Okay. We'll wait. I already think Capital City looks far better. It's got double the residents it had before. Let's go ahead and get a sense of the buses that are here because we really got a bit crazy with what we were doing. And I removed a lot of stops. And now these CC loops, before they didn't have much use, but I think now that we have more people over here, they'll have much more value. So we have bus stops up here. I think that stopping here might be a little premature, so let's stop here as well. We'll come down a bit further. We'll come down to the end here. Okay. And then I think we've got these here. I'd rather this be moved over a bit more, but that's fine. I'd rather it be like this. Because now we can move this bus stop to here, move this bus stop to here, move this bus stop to here, and move this bus stop to here. Get rid of that bus stop, get rid of that bus stop. Connect to here and connect to here. I don't know what that little dot is. What's going on there? Why do I feel like we have some tomfoolery going on? Delete, and these are just a loop. Like this is not challenging to rebuild. Delete both. Bus line. Let's also get rid of that horrendous cream color. Let's do a really light pink maybe? Or like a light purple. So we're going to go from here all the way around to here. Oh, no, wait. Which way are you going? You're going up. Okay, so you go from here to here. Then you go here. Then you're going to cross over here in front of the train. You're going to come down over here to the high school. There's another high school, so we're going to move that first high school connection, and then you come back around. There's probably a better way to do that one. Yeah, we could probably move those. You're going to go to here. Then you're going to come up to here. Then you're going to cross the main avenue. Stop in front of the train. Come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Now, let's see if we want to move any of these. So I have you here, which is fine. This one, I do think I could get into maybe shimmying it over a little bit. Like if I moved it to here, does it keep the connection? Oh, it does. Oh, I can just move it. That's great. So now we have, yeah, that's much better. So there's 2 there. 1 here by this exit, which is by the subway. 1 over here. This one, I actually want to move this bus stop. I want to move you a little bit further up the road. Great. We turn around. We've got 2 stops right here in front of the train station. This one is not as helpful because there's not a crosswalk. So instead, I'm going to move this over here by the crosswalk so that those getting off the bus can then cross the street. Then we turn here and we go down this way. This one makes a lot of sense. This one does not. It's in the middle of the block. Why would that be stationed there? So this one could move a little bit further up by the intersection. Go down this road. This one here could also move a bit further up by the intersection. That one's by that intersection. Great, which is in front of the city hall. Then we come down here and we have these two over here on Cozy Street. That is perfect. Okay. It's getting into winter too, so it's going to start getting a little cold, start getting a little snow. All right, so we've really done a lot of work here. I'm happy with that. How is the traffic going on this side? Cleared out. Beautiful. Some of that, again, was because of the people moving in. Some of that was just because of poor road work. All right, now that we're going to make kind of this area into a larger park complex, I think that the section in front of this shipyard, what is it actually called? City Harbor, could be expanded upon a bit. So let's go ahead, bring this road out at the 90. We have an intersection here being formed by the pedestrian walkway. So I almost wonder if we do something like this. Right? Like it gets a little funky over here, but that's okay. I don't want to connect into here because that just feels like a really, like a high number of intersections. Super close together. But we could do a little alleyway. It still gives an intersection, but the road all around is just like less offensive in size. Do we do an alleyway here? No, I think this is just a full-on road because it's right in the center of these, so it's not really doing anything too crazy. Okay, that's not bad. I could remove those two roads and we put, what is this? Soccer. Yeah, like an elementary school with a nice soccer field next door. And I think the soccer field, we're going to treat it as if it's not exclusively for the elementary school, but it is next door to the elementary school. So if you want to use it, you can. Like sometimes the school uses it. All right. I want this to be a nice curve right here. I think we can absolutely accomplish that. Let's go out from here. 1, 2. That's good enough. That's good enough. Then we're going to go right up against the building, and then we're going to curve. And then from here, we're going to go straight on over to here. And that's... You can only go that way. I mean, why don't we just change this whole thing up? Let's have this go to here. And then we're going to have this come down to here, come to here, and then at this point curve. It's just a much better road that way. Sometimes I look at the roads I build, and I'm like, why did I think that that looks like a good idea? Because it doesn't. Who approved that? And it was me, but you live and you learn. All right. Making all of this commercial because we have more commercial demand, which is great. I wouldn't mind having some low rent housing over here somewhere, just so that it's available. I think we just do a whole row of it. It's going to destroy any demand we have for high density, but that's okay. Oh, and this is EU. All right, that's going to be interesting because I did not mean to build an EU building. Let's then do some mixed-use houses along the road with the port, and then I think some just regular... No, these are the moments where I want to sprinkle in like little... Does that work, or does it have to be that way? Like if I go like this, what happens? Anything? Well, there's no demand for it right now. We're going to do that and hope that they zone towards the road. If they don't, then we'll come up with something else. And then offices. I guess we could get into like a few. I'll put one there that's larger, and then we'll put some low density offices as well. And we'll get into it that way. So then that's going to fill out that little area also. All right. You guys, don't worry. We're in a new season, which means the ground pollution that you are being forced to live with is rapidly disappearing. I mean, it is technically on the low end. Well, I guess it's mid, which is horrible. But this is why you live in a hospital city, because I knew there was going to be a lot of ground pollution. All right, let's see if we can solve this purple line. So we have this purple line that starts up here, comes straight on down, and goes over into Capital City. I don't actually know if I understand why I made that line at all. People are, nope, no one's taking it. Yeah, I don't know if this line makes any sense. So let's get rid of that. Let's also remove any of the stops that we have that aren't being used by anyone else. Well, that one we'll keep just because it looks nice. But up here, yeah, like we don't need this or this. Holy cow. We're going to claim this is because everyone's moving in. I mean, people are moving. It's just busy, but they're moving. When they get down here, there is a bit of a traffic problem that we run into. And there's really nothing I can do about that. I mean, some of that's because of the train. Some of that's because of the intersections and the lights. We could, because this is a major entry point into the city, up until here, I know it removes the beautiful trees, but I think we upgrade this so that the 3 lanes we've created from the highway can stay 3 lanes this whole way through. And there is absolutely not going to be parking over here, so we can just cut that right on out here, folks. No parking there. No parking here either. Not in this neighborhood. Wow, this is looking a little dystopian. They're all looking very similar. It's because the land is so flat, so I can just build all the same buildings. Okay, this is really crazy how much it's just grown. I think what I'm going to do is, for the next episode, we're going to open up with a time lapse where I just spend some time detailing this little park area. But for now, I think that's probably where we're going to leave this. This might be a bit shorter of an episode. I'm still kind of dealing with my congestion and nose, so bear with me here. But 148 passengers are on that guy. 53 are there. There are 48 waiting here. And over here, there are already 31. So we're starting to see this come together. This section here, did we zone anything? We didn't. Okay. If that's the case, let's put in some medium density housing, because that's exactly what we're looking for. We need some medium density housing for people to just be able to live in. We'll put some low income housing over here. It's not the most desirable place, but it's a place, and half the time that's what people need, is just a place. So there we go. And then over here, let's check if those zoned in. They did. Okay, so that's also going to be a little tiny townhouse, which I think is just cute, like these old remnants of the life that once was when the city was smaller. Okay, so last thing I want to check, these are the European style commercials. That's not the vibe. That's not the vibe. What we are going to test, though, is a few things. Let's test a 3x3. All right, we're going to test this and this. So this here is the NA mixed use. If we do mixed use for European, I wasn't planning on this area having humans living in it, residential, but it might need it. So this is just a test to see the difference between the NA and the European, and I want to see what we like most here. Okay. Well, guys, it's storming like crazy in our city. The traffic that we've got here, I do think is just because of people moving in and is beginning to clear. But now we have a much better access road here to get into the heart of the city, which is great. This whole area, we've made the population go through the roof. And then soon, this is going to be a beautiful park area right in the center. The question I need to figure out, I'm actually just going to go ahead and do this. I think that I do want this to have some housing in it. I think that would just look nice. And I think we kind of need it. So we're going to do some larger apartments right here. I think it's just going to fill in that gap a little bit better. And then what we need to do in the next part is figure out a few things here. In my notes, I say to myself that I would like to do connections to the airport and a suburb around the airport to kind of help with some of this aggressive, low-density residential demand that we have. So what I'm thinking is in the next part, we spend a little time over here building out a suburb that's probably like mainly this area. But I would also like to see about getting this cargo terminal, finding a way to, I don't know how, but I'm thinking maybe this line that comes off also then comes up and crosses over, goes straight through this dead area. We call a mulligan on some of these houses. We bring it across the river, and then we connect it right up and in. So we have another cargo terminal connecting into our airport. But for now, that is where we're going to leave this part. Although I think I saw traffic. Guys, you have so many options. So many ways to get where you got to go. Oh, look at all the clouds. I'm not building more roads. We're going to let this settle first and see what happens. But for now, that's where we're going to leave this part here. This is the new Capital District. It's a huge rework for this neighborhood, but I think just makes this whole area look a little bit better. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one.